Good morning. It is Let It Go and Let It Grow. And this is Wednesday, the 17th of June, 2026. So what are we letting go of today? And we are letting go of 10 of Wands energy. Wands is fire, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius energy today. And this is about responsibility, passion, effort, and burdens. So the 10 of Wands is Saturn in Sagittarius. So we are releasing burdens that were never ours to carry. So this is for people who are empathetic and very highly sensitive people. We tend to carry a lot of people's baggage with us. And this is exactly what this card is saying. People feel more comfortable to talk to us, to let us know what's going on with their life, and they leave the information with you. Now, as the person who's receiving the information, it is up to us what we do with that. So this card is asking us to help that person, to be sympathetic, to be empathetic, but don't own that. Don't wear it. Don't carry it. This is not our emotions. These are not our issues. This is not our trauma. We can help people where they're at, but don't carry it as your own part of your journey. Let go of overcommitting and overextending yourself. So this is a fantastic day to say no. So if you feel overburdened, being pulled in too many directions, constantly spreading yourself too thin, overcommitting, taking on new projects, that might even fall in the vein of people pleasing or trying to prove something to yourself. There is a time and a place that you have to say no. And that is because something has to give. And generally that'll be your health. That's something is going to happen. You can end up like getting sick with a cold or something. You can end up injuring yourself. This is generally what happens to people who overcommit and aren't able to say no. So get in that place today of if you don't want to do something and you feel pressure that you should do it. Once again, shitting all over yourself. Don't. Just say no. No is a full sentence. Stop overcommitting yourself. All you're doing is exhausting yourself and burning yourself out. Drop the belief that you must do everything alone. It's fine to ask for help when you need it. We are in positions where we feel that a lot of times that we might not have support or help if we reach out to somebody. Everybody is busy with their own life. The world is speeding up and all of that stuff there. But, you have to realize that if you need assistance, if you need help, if you're trying to learn something and are struggling, there are people out there that are going to be able to help you with that. So don't be shy in asking for the help when you need it. Stop carrying yesterday's responsibilities into today and tomorrow, meaning what was in the past is there. The point is in the past. The point of power is always in the present moment. And what I mean by that is, the trauma that happened, you end up spiraling out from that center point. So even though you have thoughts and emotions and remembrance of things that happen, you don't have to torture yourself with those memories the rest of your life. So stop carrying that responsibility of your past forward with you. Acknowledge it. See it from the state of the observer again. But you do not have to carry these with you the rest of your life. This 10 of Wands is all about unburdening yourself. See how she has walked down the mountain. She has a suitcase, which is carrying what she needs, but she has been smart enough to load up her faithful little ox there with everything else that needs to be carried for her. So this is yellow getting into her solar plexus energy, knowing her worth, touching base lightly into spirit, knowing that there's help there if she asks. And she has come down that mountain and realized that the climb up didn't have to be as difficult as she made it. So she has the assistance coming back down. Allow yourself to ask for support where you need it. So if something is going on and you do need help and advice from others, don't hesitate to ask. Just make sure that, and when you're doing that, know that if you're unloading that burden, you're not burdening them if they know how to carry it. So this would be if you have stuff that is going on, speak to somebody like myself who's a spiritual coach, speak to a therapist, speak to somebody who has experience, speak to someone who knows how to hold and carry this and not wear it and own it as their own. So that is the letting it go. 10 of Wands appears when you've been pushing forward through sheer determination, strength, but it is exhaustion is not a requirement for your success. We'll go back to the beginning of the week where we had the Four of Swords, that beautiful pause, and that's what it's asking us to do today. Rest. Unburden yourself and rest and realize there is help where you need it. What are we letting grow today? This is the Six of Swords. Swords is all the air, so it's Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini energy today. This is healing, transition, movement, and perspective. And we are going towards healing and peace. So once you're able to unburden yourself and sort of let these burdens go where they need to go, you either let them go, release them, get help for them, ask for help for what you need. You are in a great position to work towards that healing and peace. That ship is coming in to the shore. The crows are leading you in. You can see a little bit of the shoreline there. The red cloak to me represents being grounded, coming back into that state of groundedness and coming out of that rough sea that was behind her. Move away from situations that are draining your spirit, that take everything out of you, that really, really pull on and drain that battery. And this could be, a family situation. This could be a work situation. Try find ways to not only cope, but strive in that peace, knowing that you are working towards your common goal, which is moving forward on your path of enlightenment and stability and recharging those batteries. Allow yourself to leave that storm behind. Once again, it comes down to this where I was saying, that trauma point will never be at that when the trauma happened again. You start spiraling out and around that. I might do a video later to explain what I mean by that. But this is telling you that it's okay for you to leave that storm behind. It is safe. And that's all about what the nervous system needs to hear is you are safe. So safety comes in knowing that you have already dealt with some very, very hard things, but you're coming into smoother waters and you are able to sort of let that go a bit and give yourself breathing room and celebrate how far you have come. Trust that process of renewal and trust that process of rejuvenation. When the storm clears out, when you're trusting that process of recovery and that storm is going away, you can look back to the rough waters, but also look forward to the grounding and, what is presenting itself in the present moment and what you can look forward to for the future. Once again, this isn't about forgetting what happened. This is about what has happened in the past and turning that into wisdom rather than a pain point. What have you learned from this experience? How has this shaped you? What strengths have you gotten out of this? What knowledge has this brought you to? How is this going to help you in your path in the future? How is this going to aid you in helping others? Embrace the calmer chapter of your life. So once again, back to the Four of Swords and rest. So just recuperate, recalibrate that nervous system. This is about letting your nervous system coming into calmer waters, knowing that you are safe again, and it's a good place to rebuild that trust. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, this is a transition. You may not be where you want to be yet, but you are no longer where you once were. So this is showing that you have done a really good job at growth. So what we're looking at today is this isn't about hard work. It's about accumulating the weights, the responsibilities, expectations, obligations, old stories, old grief, and old fears. This is the kind of thing that carrying around because we get used to carrying it around, but we are unaware of how heavy that has become for us. It's just become that backpack. I often tell my clients when I'm working on them, you're here for a treatment. Take that backpack of whatever is holding you back, holding you down off. It is yours if you want it again. When we're done the session, you can put it back on. But if you feel safe enough to leave some of what has been troubling you in that backpack behind, feel free to do so. You don't have to pick up the full weight anymore. And that's exactly what this is saying. Look how much I have carried. And the Six of Swords is, what if you didn't have to carry it anymore? What if you could just let it go and come into those calmer waters? You don't have to carry the grief or the suffering with you. See grief as a release at this point. The transition requires letting go. And that comes again with that trust and allowing the nervous system, the limbic system, to know that it's in a safe place to do so. You can sort of start working on shedding the old struggles, the old identities, the old version of yourself that believed that survival was the way life was supposed to be lived. But you're now realizing, you're starting to get glimmers of hope and knowledge that it doesn't have to be like that. So the Six of Swords is reminding us that life doesn't, and healing doesn't always have to be huge drama either. Sometimes it looks like choosing peace for yourself, choosing simplicity, and not having to pick up your stuff again or other people's shit. Let it go. Their shit is not your shit. You can listen to them, you can help them, but don't take it on as your own stuff. So there's a strong feeling that many people receive are much closer to the calmness than they actually realize. The storm is visibly behind you, but at least it's no longer in front of you. So release the burden, sail into healing. You don't have to carry everything with you into the next chapter of your life. Know where it's safe to release the burdens. And this is, what burden are you finally ready to put down? Where do you want to lay that backpack today? And what might become possible if you stop carrying what was never yours to hold in the first place? How much space would you have if you let other people's issues and shit go that was not directly involved in your life, but somehow gets involved in your life? So, self-care, go back to Monday, go back to the Four of Swords, that solid rest and repair state for yourself, and know that you're doing the best that you can do with what has been placed in front of you. And healing is not linear. It's messy. It's all over the fucking place. So know that that is okay for you as well. And don't judge yourself against other people's journeys. I was saying to somebody yesterday, you know, this isn't the trauma Olympics. We all have shit. But my grief is mine, your issues or yours, and this is not a comparison of trauma. So this isn't the trauma Olympics of whose life is fucking worse. We're just all here to help each other through it. So I am finishing it off with an oracle card from Beyond Lemuria by Izzy Ivy. Love this deck. And we have Trust Your Innocence. So this is a beautiful calling back to looking at that place of your life where everything was new, where everything was exciting. And maybe this is what that rest of this week and the releasing of the burdens is all about. Going back to that state of innocence where everything is exciting. What can you get excited about today? What is new? Is it going out into your garden and watching your plants grow? Is it, you know, taking a walk in a park? And just look for something new. Hearing a bird. It might be, you know, you've heard the bird a million times. Listen to it from a new set of ears. Listen to it from that state of beauty and innocence. And that I just see spirit, you know, that place where spirit wants you to listen to it from. The innocence is all about knowing that we are these innocent beings floating on a ball through space and time, and touch back into that purity and innocence of everything that's around you today. So even, you know, if you have time, if a leaf has fallen from a tree, take it and look at it from a naive and innocent mind. What does it look like? Look at its newness. Look at the veins. Take the time to look at things in an innocent manner and with a new set of eyes. And that is it for today. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.